I chose a strange color, but you know, it's.
It's pretty.
What do you think? Did I get my money's worth out of my haircut?
Yes, you did. Looks nice. Did you get a little color on it too?
Not yet.
Looks
I
nice.
might do. Do you remember Sun
No.
from the Once Upon a Time days? Sun you would spray it on your hair and then go out on the beach. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Never did
Or
that
outside.
actually.
No, never
It's
heard of it.
just enough lightening on my hair, but I'll do it on a sunny day. Or you can do it with a hair dryer, but I left my hair dryer at the Metal Arts Guild. Anyway, it needs heat. My grandmother used to use lemon juice.
Peroxide.
Peroxidal is probably what's in Sun In. Oh dear, one of my leaves is crapping out. Anyway, live and learn. So, so this is with tissue paper that I bleached. I just took some really dilute bleach and some. This is some yellow scrapbook paper in the center, but I think it was a little too stiff. And I used that same paper on the leaves, but it's one of them's already giving out. So
Needs a wire up this backbone.
that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Then you could bend its shape and make it curved or anything.
You see, I can't teach you anything. You already know it all.
All I know it all.
You know, every class has a know-it-all.
Sorry.
I love it.
But we help each other.
That's that's what I love about teaching in person or teaching anyway, is that you learn from each other. You learn from your students.
Yeah.
Well, Jillian, I need to learn how you made that so nice with your Clorox, because mine came out like.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as it has a variegation. Like I have one, this one, and we can use this one a day. I just kind of splash this one on.
What did you put it on with? A brush or a Q-tip or what?
Yeah, or what? A brush, I'm sure.
Okay.
And this one was definitely brushed. And these are painted. And I think that once you get it cut into petals, I think it'll look great. I don't, this one is the Water-Soluble Crayon. And I don't know, it looks pretty drawn on to me.
Well, I tried Water-Soluble Crayon and it didn't come. What did you use, Helen?
I tried to use the water-soluble pencils, colored pencils.
Yeah, and mine came out like awful.
Didn't work at all. Didn't work at all. So mine are very drawn on. It was kind of last minute. It's just sort of like this.
With what?
Just markers,
Markers?
Felt it.
Okay.
Yeah, markers.
All right.
That's all.
I think, there are a lot of often there are striations and petals. And I think this, these are make-believe.
Yeah.
Right?
But how did yours come out for Cynthia?
It's I mean, like, this is Clorox brushed on.
Great.
Looks good. Yeah.
It's going to be. So, I don't know. Let me pick one.
How many sheets were we supposed to do?
Just you might want to make more than one. It depends on how fluffy you want your flower to be. So tell you what, I'm going to use these red ones, although.
How many?
I'm going to use these. Although the Clorox went through to both sides. And the paint only kind of stayed on one side. But I think I'm going to work with that and see how it works. Okay, so I cut them into strips. How long are my strips? yank out my ruler. They're about 5 inches wide. It, this is all very loosey-goosey.
Yeah, yeah. Just like me.
There you go. Except I've seen your work and it's not.
Well, I'm loosey-goosey.
You may be, but when you get down to working, and it is precision stuff. So I'm going to fold these.
How many sheets do you have there? That's my question still.
I have two, but
And about
I
what,
may end up only using one.
15 inches? 24 inches, roughly, like this?
What is it, 20 inches? 18, maybe it's 24.
Okay, that's what I got, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody have a good Mother's Day.
Very quiet.
I had lunch with my son and daughter-in-law and her daughter. And then had dinner at my sister's where I saw family members I haven't seen in 17 months. The little twins who have grown so much. And
So were we supposed to cut this into 5-inch strips or what?
yeah, or whatever, just
5-inch strips, they're not lengthwise.
yeah, it doesn't have to be, I mean, it's the width. So I'm just folding it until it gets to a nice petal width. You like my definition?
Yeah, I
So
get it.
let me see. I have folded these,
3 of them, 4 of them?
folded 2 of the strips, and
2
they're
strips. Extra fluffy. It's gonna be so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
oh, you're gonna love it. They're
Okay.
1.5.
That's two strips folded.
Yeah, and it's to almost, it's like 1 3/4. Anyway, this is going to be really thick to cut. So, and as usual, it never folds evenly.
So how are we cutting it again?
So I'm going to make a template. I mean, you don't really have to make a template, but I think it helps show the shape. Okay, I had a marker. Here we go.
Like a piece of cardboard or something?
Yeah, I've got an index card here. So I'm just gonna. So let's say. I'm gonna cut it in half, fold it over. That was very sketchy, just trying to get my shape.
How wide is your petal at the bottom?
You know, the petal at the bottom is gonna be about, hang on. Let me see what it comes out to. Probably 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah, that feels about right. It's about 3/4 of an inch. You know, it's not a science. like botany.
None of this is science.
Yay. It's craft.
Craft, exactly. So this is to cut our petals?
Yeah. It's kind of thick, so I'm going to cut it in half and then just made my template. You don't have to make a template. You can
Can we just cut them, sort of cut them?
yes, please. That's what I did on the blue one.
So we don't want any folds in any of these. We want it separate
Yeah,
petals.
but
right?
they're all going to be separate petals.
Okay. So we have this little like this of petals.
Exactly. Yes.
So they're not joined anywhere?
No, no. And this back one is a reject.
Ugh.
So I probably have enough. I could have used one sheet. But I say we go for a bouquet.
So we have two bunches of little petally things and we're supposed to make one flower out of them?
Well, or you can I'm just cutting one bunch and I have these as backup.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So put those
So
there.
what we're going to do is we're going to make the center. And the center is, it's kind of like a shorter version of the petal. It's not an exact science again.
Did we make this out of origami paper?
That's what I'm using.
Okay.
I used scrapbook paper on this one and it felt too stiff. In the book, they use Canson, which is a beautiful paper that comes in many colors. And
So it's the same shape as the petals?
it's pretty close, but it's shorter. It's maybe an inch tall.
Oh,
Okay. So it's just like this. It's just. Okay. It's just kind of a short version of the petal.
Same width as the petal
Yeah, pretty much.
or a little less?
It can be a little less.
just one of these?
Just one. I'm going to cut off the black.
You're so fussy.
Well, I don't want the black to be, I don't know. Maybe that is part of a flower center.
I think it's personal preference.
I think it's an artistic license.
Yes. And are we supposed to curl this little guy?
We're going to take our wire and, but yeah, you can curl it. It wouldn't hurt. You can, if you want to curl it on your scissors,
Oh, okay.
that wouldn't hurt at all. So I hope everybody got floral tape.
Yeah, I did.
You probably already had it on the shelf.
No, the stuff I had was very old. I think it long went into the trash can.
They
You know,
dry up and all that.
yeah, it does.
This, or they become a solid mass.
You can't strip it out. Yeah.
Yeah, the floral tape, you stretch it, and they say that activates the glue, but it does need to be stretched. Okay, and also heat from your hands helps. I think it's wax.
Yeah.
That's in here.
I want to ask you about your, it's really stiff. You look like you have paper coated wire.
It is. It's wrapped in in a paper, but regular copper will work okay
That's okay, okay,
because you're going to be covering it with the floral tape.
okay.
Yeah. So the paper does, I mean, the wire does not have to be covered.
Okay.
It will get covered.
I got wire that's 16 gauge and it's kind of stiff for this
Yeah,
stuff.
mine's very stiff.
That's okay.
So show us what you do. What are you doing now?
Not,
Okay. So right now I just wrap this onto the wire. Well, I tried to. Come with the program here. So you pull the floral tape when demos go bad. Okay. You always just tear the floral tape. You pull on it and wrap it. You're twirling the wire. Come on. Are my hands cold? All right, now. Really important that you stay on. All right, now I'm going to put in the little center part, and I'm doing it so that there's still some of the tape left. So it's like, it's going to curl around.
Can you move your hands over a little? Okay.
It's curling like this. Where am I? There we are. How do real people do this?
It's supposed to
Okay,
be this tiny.
it's pretty tiny. And I'm pulling the tape. Now I'm going to take a couple of my petals and I'm going to flare them out so that they overlap a bit like this. But I've got two, and I'm going to make a pleat, take a tuck, a dart, so that they curl up. And now I'm going to introduce this into the flower. Come on now. I don't know if it helps to talk to your flowers, but they say it helps to talk to your plants. So I guess talking to your flowers couldn't hurt, right?
It's good for you anyway.
And try to keep this perpendicular to your wire. If you keep putting your petals further down, you're gonna create a new kind of flower. So I'm going to take another pair and overlap, flare them, take a little pleat, and we're just going to keep going with this. And that's it. That's a lesson.
See you later.
Bye. We're done. 10 minutes. Okay. All right. This is obviously it decided it wanted to go on the other side.
So which side are you putting the second two on?
I'm trying to get them on the opposite side, but
Opposite, okay.
you know, we're just going to keep putting them around. Mine's feeling loose. I'm going to guide my tape a little bit down the wire, an angle, and then tear it off. Whoops, tear it off. Just because it was starting to wobble. And my petals were falling off the table. Oy vey,
Boy,
oy vey.
what kind of teacher are you?
I'm gonna teach you some Yiddish. All right.
Well, I'm beginning to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Sure.
Okay. So you see how the variegations actually come out looking pretty cool.
This takes some manual dexterity.
Really?
Well, it takes pulling and twisting. Uh-oh, pedal overboard. Hate it when they jump ship. You know, these books are written by people who have just focused on this one particular skill and done it in depth. So, I mean, you know, they have, you know, they've experimented, and like she uses gouache to paint her flowers, I mean, her petals.
She uses what?
Gouache,
What's that?
gouache, Gouache. It's a water soluble paint. It's like an opaque watercolor.
It's white looking, isn't it?
No, well, no, it's not white looking, but it's depends on what color it is.
Oh,
I mean, it's like a, I want to say a professional tempera, but that's not appropriate.
I
Um,
can't see your hands.
Thank you
That's
for
better.
reminding me.
That's better.
I keep wanting to put them right up in front of my face. So I've been experimenting with our weaving project
When is that going to be?
tomorrow afternoon at 1. And it's been fun because, you know, it's a scrap buster. So I, you know, just get as big a variety of scraps as you've got, different kinds of yarns.
Oh, yeah.
And we're gonna do it on cardboard. And when I was looking for a tapestry needle, I found a bodkin, you know, a tube turner. Anyway,
I don't know what a tube turner is.
if you're making a tube, it grabs the end of it. Where is it? Right here. It's hard to
Where?
see.
Oh, that's what I think of as a rug maker.
Well, yeah, it's got many different functions,
Okay. Yeah.
but boy,
Don't
it's easy. Or you could use a crochet hook. Um, or we can make little shuttles.
What, they're gonna
Okay.
put yarn on cardboard?
Yeah, what's a weaving project? Yeah, so we're using cardboard as a loom.
Do that on gourds too. They drill holes in it and then. make little
Yeah.
patterns with-
It's supposed to be stuff you can find more easily at home.
Well, I lost my wire. I don't know where it went.
Lost?
It came right out from inside.
Did
I
it slide
looked all
out?
over for it.
Is it on the floor? Oh, no, Betty.
I just cut a new one. Oh, I see it.
I feel you. It's okay. I just had another pair of petals.
They fall out.
Yeah, they weren't falling out last night. Night before.
Maybe you need a glass of wine to make this work.
It couldn't hurt.
I think it's easier to use, put one petal at a time on here
That's all right.
and then give it a twist or two. I suppose one should check for symmetry now and again.
Every so often, yeah. And fluff them in the right direction. So you guys want to keep up with flower making? I've got a few others.
I'm wondering if you could do that rose again. They
Sure.
never did archive it.
Are
I
you
went back
serious?
to the archive and it was a yoga. So
Well, that's hard work.
yeah. Anyway, I really
You don't make work up a sweat making the rose. I'd be happy to do that again.
Does anybody else want the rose again?
Yeah, that'd be all right with me.
Yeah, it'd be okay with me. My first one was a bust.
That's
Okay.
the one thing I did that I threw out, and that's the one I really wanted to do.
That's not a problem. I can do that. Okay. Coming up next week.
Thank
Go,
you.
Rose.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, Betty, because I don't.
I just have this little tiny one.
So pretty. They're so pretty. I really like it.
But this was my first one, and I thought, meh. And then the bigger ones, this is half the size. And then the bigger ones really turned out much nicer.
The bigger ones are better, you think?
Well, mine were. Or maybe that's because this was my first one, and the second and third ones, came out better. You know what I mean.
Well, I'm getting a flower.
Yay.
See?
There
Yeah.
you go.
How's
Wow.
everybody
See?
else's looking?
You see, and the variegations and how you painted it really work.
How'd you do that fast, Helen? I mean,
I'm putting one
Confident.
petal on at a time. It seems easier to
Oh, really?
maneuver it.
try that.
And I'm using a short piece of tape instead of the whole roll. If it,
And I keep having to go down the stem a bit to fasten it down.
yes.
I seem to remember this tape being stickier in the 70s when I learned how to wrap.
Yeah, that's when I grew my straw flowers. Have you ever grown straw flowers in the garden?
You grow things and then you make stuff out of them.
Yeah,
When you grow your own gourds.
I can, but they're not as good as the ones you buy from out west. The ones grown in
Oh.
Arizona and California are much better. But I've grown a bunch of them.
And they're light, so shipping and handling's cheap.
Well, they're bulky though,
Yeah. straw flowers. So, how about corn husk?
How about what?
Corn husk. We could do corn husk ones.
Well, you just grow corn.
Or shuck your corn. Oh, you know what? The Hispanic grocery stores sell corn husks for tamales.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You certainly save them off any corn you eat.
yes, I used to have a book on making corn husk dolls.
You just
Well-
just save them and dry them. You better not.
You
I've
just
never
like
done
lay them out in the sun or something?
Just anywhere where they're dry. Yeah, the sun would be good
If we had some.
but not today.
Hey, my garden's happy. I know yours is.
Yeah, mine is, yeah. Well, it's kind of cool for peppers and things.
Yeah. I told you about our volunteers from our compost.
Cool.
We don't know what they are. They could be melons. They could be.
Yeah, and the trouble is when you grow from volunteers, you're not going to get what you grew originally if it was a hybrid because of the genetics.
Well, I mean, it's, people say, oh, look, it's a geranium. No, because it came from our compost. So it's got to be some food. So it's either a cantaloupe or a squash, I think. Either way, we were told we need to trellis it. So every time I go somewhere, I bring them as party favors. Like Mother's Day, we put them on the tables as centerpieces.
little
Here,
plants?
take these. Please take these. Give them homes.
I just turn them back into compost.
Well, we can. But Steve doesn't like to throw out anything. He was going to dig another garden bed just for the volunteers we thinned out. Now that is a lot of work. And then of course you bring some to a friend and they give you back, some tomatoes or mint or something.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's all good. And I actually ate a pea we grew the other day.
Yeah.
Our peas are taller than me. Okay, that's not a big accomplishment, but still, I thought it was for us. Okay, I'm looking at the time. Time to get onto leaves. So now we know how to add petals, and you can make these fluffier, right?
Right.
And boy, mine could use a little symmetry. Okay, so let's do the leaf thing. So I got some origami paper here. And I'm just gonna fold it. What did I say I was making, a camellia?
Yes. That's what you said.
That's what I said.
Are you still going with that one?
Yeah, what the heck?
Is that your final answer?
Uh-oh. Darn gravity. So I'm gonna make leaves. Here I am working on my green background with the green paper. And I'm just gonna cut out it. I'm using origami paper because I was using that heavy scrapbook paper and it was too stiff.
So we need a little origami.
what I
Probably
thought.
green.
I figure by now everybody's got that, right?
A little green origami.
So has anybody ever done paste paper?
No,
No.
I haven't.
That's a wonderful and messy thing. So I'm gonna take the back of the X-Acto and score down the center. I like to add just a little curve because that's a shape I like. May not be what Mother Nature likes. But when you score it, and we can just use this for paper sculpting. I just love that kind of shape.
This, you're just talking about leaf shape, you like?
Well, I'm talking about scoring it down the middle like that.
I'm gonna fold it.
Of course, you can also add some lines. Whoops.
Give it a little depth.
Yeah. I'm using the back of the X-Acto. And when you score those, you can kind of fold them up, mountain and valley. And that gives your leaf a little shape. Here's today's flower. Here you are, waiting patiently. Okay. And just wrap that in with your floral tape. There we go. Yeah. I think we got something going here. Go ahead and score the other leaf. How's it going, everybody? Well,
Coming
Helen.
along.
Yeah. For Cynthia, what you got?
Well, it's not very symmetrical, but
Mine isn't at the moment either, but we can work that out. I think the fluffier it gets, I'm going to be adding some more to mine. I just was afraid I might run out of time.
yeah.
So I thought I'd get on with the leaves. How you doing, Betty?
Awful, mine fell totally apart.
Oh dear.
My stem kept coming out.
Out.
And so I finally started over and I took the wire and bent it around to hold it in.
Oh,
All the leaves were coming off, all the petals were coming off, and the wire kept
Oh.
coming out, so I'm starting over.
that sounds like a blues song.
Yeah, it's awful. And my tape doesn't tape it right.
You know, it's a bad tad glue. I mean,
It isn't sticky enough.
you have to pull on it. Okay, so pull on the tape. And as you stretch it,
Mhm.
it releases the adhesive quality.
Okay.
And then a little warmth from your hands, twirl it and press it. I think you're probably just not pulling it enough.
Maybe.
You have to mash it.
Yeah, there's mashing involved. I like that. Mashing.
This is getting more interesting.
Mash your flowers.
There's your floral tape. Well,
My floral tape is probably 15 years old, but it's still working.
Is it? Oh, that's good. If it's still
Mine's
working.
new, but it's not working. It's me that isn't working, I guess.
I'm sure there are different qualities, but I think that you have to stretch, definitely. Okay.
there's my very imperfect flower.
Wow,
Beautiful.
that's good.
You can't see it up close, and that's a good thing.
Okay, I'm going to add some more petals. I thought, oh, we'll make a begonia. That was like the first project in the book. Cut 36 petals. I thought, oh dear, that's a lot. But I don't know, maybe that's what we're using.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it doesn't seem that many now that you get going.
Well, making a flower in 45 minutes is quite a challenge in itself. So
Let's face it, Mother Nature takes longer than that.
yes, most sane people would take longer to make one too.
Oh, well, that disqualifies me.
Okay, this is going to be what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your second one's going to be outrageous.
Well, I think this one is outrageous.
That one looks gorgeous.
I like it. I'm not unhappy with this at all. It's
I
kind of
think
petite.
I'm making a violet. I think that's the extent of it.
Hey, Pansy,
Oh, that's a hibiscus.
it's a hibiscus.
I'm really enjoying making these paper flowers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Because I like flowers and I can carve them and grow them.
Yeah,
Now I can make them with paper. I like it.
that's great.
So thank you.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, let's see.
Should I put this on in my, oh no, this goes here.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
I love you, Helen. That's right.
I go like this?
attitude. What do you think?
Oh, very nice. Yes. You don't have enough hair to tuck it in. I can tuck it into this crazy
I
hair.
have a friend who is a fellow ukulele player. Saw her the other day at the Virginia Highland Porch Fest. And I recognized her a mile away because of her flower in her hair. But she's young and exotic and she can pull it off. And she looks Hawaiian when she does that.
Oh, she must have nice dark skin then.
Yeah, she's mulatto, kind of Filipino.
Nice,
coloring.
nice combo. Huh?
Cafe au lait. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. That's nice.
Are you recovering, Betty? Oh, look at Forsythia.
Oh, for Cynthia.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Rock.
It suits you.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, she came with a hairstyle for it.
Well, I was born in Hawaii, so I can wear flowers.
Really?
Are you Hawaiian to any degree?
No, I'm half Chinese and half Japanese, but I was
That is fantastic.
I was born there, but I only lived there for 1 year, and then my parents moved to Georgia, and I've been here ever since.
I was born in Canada and they moved me when I was 2 months old. I can't claim Canada very much.
No, I'm a New Yorker.
But I'll tell you what, so let's go make a tour.
I'm ready.
Field trip, let's go to Hawaii, New York, and Toronto.
Okay.
Eddie, where are you from?
And Philadelphia.
Okay,
Perfect.
It's near New York.
I'll go. I'll go, as long as it's not winter. Okay. If it's winter, we start off in Forsythia's hometown.
Yeah.
And linger.
Yes, I hear it's paradise.
You can stand the crowds.
Well, I haven't been there in 30 years, so I don't know what it's like now.
I have friends who live there. It's crowded and it's
Hawaii?
expensive. They pay like 3 times as much for rent.
It's very expensive.
Well, that's New York or Hawaii.
Both.
You know, I think when you paint it or bleach them, it gives a little extra touch.
I think so too.
I
And
like
even
that.
my little just stripy paper looks okay in this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do the roses again. So the roses were just origami paper, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty simple. And
It
glue.
was my glue didn't hold, and it was the inner part that messed up. And the more I tried to fix it, the more I just ended up throwing.
Yeah, if your center doesn't start off really small,
Yeah.
yeah, you got to curl those really tight.
Yeah, I think I had trouble with mine too, and I don't know what happened to it, so I could use to do it over again.
That's fine. We can do that. No biggie. Great. I don't have to think up something else.
Yeah, really, that makes it easy for you, right?
It does. It does. I just have to practice.
Well,
Maybe,
that's always good. Practice, practice, practice.
maybe I'll draw or paint on some paper and make a variegated rose.
That would
Yeah,
be
that
lovely.
sounds good. That sounds
I have a one rose growing in my yard, and it's called a Joseph's coat. You know, many colors in the Bible. I'm not very familiar with the Bible, but that's something, I think it
Yeah.
comes from the Bible. Anyway,
Yeah.
and so this rose starts out as one color, and then as it matures, it changes color. So it goes from peach to rose to almost a red.
Oh, how cool.
I love that attitude.
Yeah,
I love that. That is so great.
it's a wonderful rose. It's the only one I was ever intrigued enough to take care of, so it's growing out.
Wow. There's so many different varieties. That's one flower that people really like to breed, and
Yeah, they're very popular.
yeah. So is it staying on the wire, Betty?
Yes, I got that part figured out.
Oh, good. That's great.
I took the wire and bent it like a hook
Yeah.
rather than just sticking it up in there.
Well, that's a good
Right.
idea. I need thinner wire. I think I need to go to Michael's.
Okay. Yeah, this is already wrapped. And
Yeah,
I felt it was short, because it's like, well, why do I always grab the wrong end of the ruler? It's only 10 inches long, but then it really seems okay. And I got this in a package with floral tape from Amazon.
well, Michael's had quite a variety, and I wasn't sure. I remembered the floral wire I used to have was very thin, but
Very thin.
they didn't seem to have it there, or it was all wrapped with paper. So
And I was looking
don't
for
think-
floral tapes and I couldn't find I don't know, Michael's was a disappointment.
It was for me too, but I got something anyway.
We used to go to this supplier called Heaney's, but I think that was wholesale. When I did display, that was another lifetime. It was
Did
like
you ever, were you ever familiar with a place called Craven's?
pottery.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The Pottery. Yes, up in Commerce. That used to be in
Yes.
my backyard. I used to live up there. That place was a fantastic.
Yeah. So I went up there. Okay, so Lanier Metters, who
No.
made the face jugs. Okay, so I'm studying ceramics, and some of us ceramic students decided we would make a field trip to check out Lanier Metters, and we stopped at the Craven Pottery, and they're making these huge, they call them Rebecca's. They're these big vases, and they push in on two sides and they make them into pictures, and you pull a handle on them.
Hmm.
And one of my fellow students was making tiny little pots. She would center it in the palm of her hand.
Oh,
Cynthia, you're putting Frida Kahlo to shame.
you look fantastic for Cynthia.
Well,
You look so exotic. You should wear that often.
I should have made my flower Helen's color to go with my shirt. I chose the wrong shirt.
I don't know. I think the orange looks great.
I
with
think
your
they're
shirt.
gorgeous. Anyway, then we went to see Lanier Metters. We knocked on his door, and it was a Saturday. And he said, I want to see no city folk today.
It sounds like North Georgia. I lived up there about 4 years and said, no, this isn't my kind of place.
Well, I mean, we saw his horse-drawn pug mill and his kiln, his wood-fired brick kiln. And that was enough to inspire us.
Wow. So there was something to be gained, even though it wasn't his charm.
No.
Yeah, if you live up there and you don't like it, they tell you you can leave on the same road you came in on.
This has been really great.
Yeah, we got a small crowd today. I wonder what the deal is. The
I
rain-
don't know.
Everybody's still under the
I
covers.
don't know what happened to Carol. People have other things going on, I guess. I can't imagine how it could be more fun. But
I don't have anything else going on.
I have physical therapy this afternoon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good for you. Physical therapists are wonderful.
Well, this one is 4'10", and we wear the same size shoe.
They're also known as physical terrorists,
I call her coach. Yeah, she's pretty bossy.
Mhm, that's what
Yeah,
they are.
I've heard that's what PT stands for, is physical terrorist.
That's right.
I'll see her. I'll tell her
They
that.
do a lot of good, though. They do a lot. It's
Oh,
from a
yeah.
healthcare provider's perspective that they do a lot of good. For
If you can make a religion of it and we do the same activities at home, that can really help. And now they have an app, and you go on the app and it has videos, and I think they even count for you, because I'm not good at counting.
It's a tough one.
I tell her that I pay her to do the counting, but it's okay.
Physical therapists actually only train you in what you're supposed to do at home later.
Right.
Yeah, theoretically, if
Yeah,
you
'cause-
can remember. But sometimes we'll roll out the mats and do those exercises. It couldn't hurt to share them with a friend. So,
Well, I gotta run. I will see y'all later.
it's been great.
Thanks, Jillian.
Wear your flower, darling.
Really, I will.
You look so exotic.
See y'all.
See you later, Forsythia. Be
Bye,
careful.
Forsythia.
See you.
Bye, ladies.
Are we closing up shop?
Yeah, why not? We're okay.
Okay, well, I've got petals to make another flower.
I do too. I'm ready to go.
I think that's what I'm gonna do as soon as we hang up this
now that you know how, it's gonna look even more fabulous.
It will. It'll be more petaled.
Okay, well, Rosie, tomorrow, next time.
Okay,
I
bye.
And,
look
and
forward to it.
gather all your crazy scrap yarn, the goofier the better.
I might not make it
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'll try, but
Well, okay.
I know this
If you
is something.
can.
I know it's not by choice, but it's something I simply have to go do at noon, and I doubt I'll be back in time. So
I feel that, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you have the noon commitment, it's hard to get back at 1.
Well, remind them to put it on
Okay,
so I can go back and look at it later.
okay.
Okay, that would be
All
great.
right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.